Lots of good conspiracy theories involve so-called shadow governments. A shadow government, according to the conspiracies, is more or less the idea that the official government we know about, the one where, there's a president and a Senate and a House of Representatives and a Supreme Court, all of that stuff, that they don't actually wield the power. Okay? A shadow government conspiracy theory claims that the real official government are puppets, but that the actual power is held by private individuals or corporations, depending on the conspiracy theory. Sometimes it's organizations like the Bilderberg conspiracies are factions of this. The Jews sometimes, the Vatican, the Freemasons, many flavors of this one. And the deep state is another one which has been sort of popular during the Trump administration. It's not actually the government as we see it publicly that holds the power. It's this deep state entity that is actually wielding the power and holding the purse strings and the puppet masters of what our government officials do. Of course, there's always like a shadow of truth to these conspiracy theories. That's how people get pulled in. So with this one, it's, well, okay, yeah, there are elites and corporations that do have way more power, disproportionately compared to Joe Schmo, lower middle class guy. That's true. And that's what gets people sucked into this stuff. And then they go down the rabbit hole of the really belligerent and outrageous ideas. So that's all a setup to tell you that Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, not known to be the most intelligent one, he suggested on Twitter that liberal comedian Ellen DeGeneres is part of such a deep state conspiracy shadow government. And the tweet is so insane that he eventually deleted it, but we have the text of it to show you. Eric Trump tweeting on January 3rd, shocking. Once again, here are the Twitter suggestions of who I should follow. Hashtag deep state. And then he links to a picture which showed that Twitter's algorithm was suggesting to him that he follow Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and Ellen DeGeneres on Twitter. Quite a conspiracy the deep state has cooked up, huh? The deep state, this all-powerful shadow government, is trying to manipulate people up to and including the son of the president of the United States by suggesting that he follow Ellen DeGeneres on Twitter, as well as a former president and someone who lost the presidential election more than 2 years ago at this point. The thing about this one, Pat, is that it's so stupid and so dumb, and he was so roasted for it that even he ended up deleting the tweet to try to take attention off of it, because it is, quite frankly, absolute idiocy.
Yeah, not the brightest bulb on the tree, that's for sure. But at least Eric Trump is an inspiration to some of us. Even if you're not the smartest, even if you're not the hardest working, you can still become rich and successful as long as your grandparent starts some successful real estate company and you live off of his successes.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an inspirational tale or a depressing tale. That we are reminded by Eric Trump and Ivanka and Don as well, but in particular with Eric, you don't have to be smart. You don't have to be a good person. You don't have to be likable. You don't have to be reasonable. You don't have to have a sensible head on your shoulders to end up with a ton of money in the United States. But we actually already knew that. So it's either a tale of inspiration or something that should make us all very, very depressed. But to get back to the shadow government that Eric Trump alluded to, I would probably trade in the Trump government with a Republican Senate for one run by Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Ellen DeGeneres. Is it crazy to think that we would be better off with Clinton, Obama, and Ellen running the government than what we actually have? That actually seems favorable to me.
If you throw in Oprah Winfrey and like Steve Harvey, I think I may be convinced at that point.
I read a funny comment online that Eric Trump is just jealous that Ellen DeGeneres is able to date more attractive women than he's able to date. But that's an insult to Eric's wife if he's still married. I don't know if he's divorced also. So I won't make that joke myself. I'll just quote someone else who made it on the internet.